we realized that transport operators lose revenue 30 to 40% due to the manual ticketing processes. And we assessed and noticed that Africa generally still has a very informal public transport sector because we are very exposed to the systems abroad, and we thought we could do something and could be a great opportunity to, of course, increase revenue collections for transporters, ease passenger movement by providing them the tools and the apps that they could use to book tickets online, pay, and have a better life and have a better transit experience. My name is Innocent Orikiliza, a Ugandan, and I'm the founder and CEO of KaCyber Technologies.
Can you tell us what KaCyber Technologies does? And what's the purpose, what's the motivation for setting up KaCyber Technologies, please?
Yes, so our company, KaCyber Technologies, is a digital ticketing service provider for public transport. We build systems for buses, trains, and ferries to handle their ticketing and payment processes. Recently, we actually iterated a few other services, which include logistics and business process outsourcing. So we are growing into basically a BPO practitioner and an innovation startup.
Fantastic. So what impressed you? What motivated you to set up this company, this fine company from what you described?
Personally, I graduated from Beijing, and I had a chance to work with multinational companies, including the Chinese, French, and Germans. So during my time there, being overseas, I knew I had to do something when I come back to my country, and I knew that had to be in line with technological innovations. So one of the things I did with my initial team was finding out the areas that were still virgin, and we identified public transport. We realized that transport operators lose revenue 30 to 40% due to the manual ticketing processes. And we assessed and noticed that Africa generally still has a very informal public transport sector because we are very exposed to the systems abroad, and we thought we could do something and could be a great opportunity to, of course, increase revenue collections for transporters, ease passenger movement by providing them the tools and the apps that they could use to book tickets online, pay, and have a better life and have a better transit experience.
That's really great. So you set out to solve problems between the transporter and the transport companies, and to ensure increase in revenue and transparency in the process. Fantastic. Would you be able to identify any of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that your company is addressing?
Yes, please. We are very committed to SDG 8, 9, and 11. And under SDG 8, we are committed to target 8.9. We believe we are contributing to building sustainable mobility solutions that would revolutionize tourism, knowing that African countries rely on tourism a lot. We know our impact in this sector gradually will bring more, will ease the tourism experience. And target 8.8, we also believe we create more job opportunities for the youth, especially in scenarios where youth unemployment is growing rapidly. So we want to be part of the journey of job creation. And of course, in SDG 9, we are targeting 9.8 to provide data, and this data would enable authorities, including local governments, and maybe external parties like banks and telcos, to make informed decisions in their urban planning development journey. Then of course, target 11.2, we think we are going to contribute solutions to allow people access safer and sustainable transport systems, which would ultimately result into safer road usage and easing passenger movement.
How do you get to know about the FAST Accelerator program? And how do you feel when you got a notice that you've been accepted into the FAST program?
Ideally, prior to this program, we are part of another program called Gross Africa Accelerator. We had learned, personally, me as the founder, I had learned that accelerator programs give a lot of what we didn't have as the leadership team. And I was very interested in any major accelerator programs that are going to run at continental level. And this time, we were not immediately accepted. I can tell you, my first email from FAST was a rejection. They said you are not part of the selection. I think they said they selected 13% and are not part of that. The next day, after 2 days, I got an email from Demerara saying KaCyber was accepted. She even called, sent WhatsApp, and the email was, I think they raised the percentage by just 1%. I really don't know, man. I don't know even how I could call this, because I was disappointed. And all of a sudden, after a day, I was very excited to see the good news and the follow-up calls. I somehow didn't even believe it, you know.
That's impressive. I mean, your story is unique.
I am telling you, we are that extra 1%, the buffer that you guys are out, but I think we didn't disappoint.
How would you rate your experience with regards to the master classes, the facilitators, and the staff of the FAST team? What's your general impression about the program? Is it something you were quite excited to have participated in? And how was the experience, please?
I definitely recommend all the efforts that were put in this program, especially being the first cohort. I've seen that a lot was prepared and our team benefited so much. I had to engage my team. You know, KaCyber had about 4 employees who were enjoying the lessons, the master classes, and all the meetings that we've been having. So I used this as a chance to upskill my key staff in areas of business development. We also had AI integration. We put in our developers in there, my CTO himself. And it has been such a good journey that the entire company benefited. Unlike where the other accelerator program, they just select a founder, the model of delivery for this program being online actually enabled us to gain more and allowed us to invite more staff. I can say really it is the first pure online accelerator program that I could say was successfully implemented. And I would recommend that you guys, for cohort 2, maybe you could even have a live meeting somewhere in the middle or at the end, you know, for us to know each other in person, see each other, know who is tall, who is somewhere, you know. Yeah.
So, would you say that the FAST Accelerator program has helped your business move forward and achieve further traction in terms of brand and your progress as a company?
Yeah, it has been a major milestone for our 2022. Yeah, you know, the attachment to Microsoft, companies like Flapmax, it has been one of our key partnerships which we rely on as we move out of our local setup. We are now actually well versed with the knowledge to scale beyond Uganda. We know we can scale across Africa, and we've been lucky during the same setup. I mean, during the same timelines, we managed to have a US partner. We are no longer saying we are scaling around Africa or across Africa. We actually, if we have the chance, we're even going to scale global. And we have all the necessary knowledge and tools to guide us to do that. That's because of the extra efforts put in by facilitators in guiding our leadership team as well as staff.
Okay, that's great. We will now go a bit deeper, a little, and we'll be asking, what's your experience of running your solution on Microsoft Azure Cloud?
Aside of just Azure Cloud, I have to let you know that we got more than Azure Cloud. We have access to the Founders Hub. We have access to Microsoft 365, Teams, Power BI. So, yeah, we've been able to have those enterprise-grade tools. Actually, we grade ourselves as a big corporation because those big corporations, even our partners, use the same tools. Immediately we got the access. The first move we did was to move our email system into Outlook, connect our employees on Teams to enable collaboration. And right now, I can tell you we can't be going back. We have to be,
going
put
forward.
higher, going forward, trying to match the standards of companies like Johnson & Johnson, companies like Microsoft itself, especially in terms of operation. Yeah, so for Azure Cloud, we definitely had to first learn the platform. It was new to us. We've been working a lot with Amazon since our inception. So it was a new environment. We've spent more time on learning it, understanding it, and our hope is we could build a hybrid cloud to make sure that our systems can run more reliably and we build more resilient network systems. Yeah, and at the moment, we also had an advantage to set up testing servers, yeah, where we are running a bit of our system at mini level. Make sure that if we decide to move a few primary things, then we don't have service disruption for our clients. Yeah, it's a very interesting experience. It has been in a short time, but we've done a lot with it.
Wow, we're quite happy to hear this. And we're so excited that your digital transformation and change management has been seamless using the Microsoft solution, Azure, Founders Hub, and the rest of them you mentioned. And we're glad to do more for you.
Thank you.
We're really glad to do more for you. I mean, we've had a great time, and I'm quite happy to know that the FAST program has been of so much help. Are you able to leverage artificial intelligence in your solution? And now, as the Flapmax technical team supported with you on the AI solution?
Actually, the Flapmax team was working with us to highlight the use case. We had almost 5 use cases. We didn't know which one we could work. We didn't know the priority anyway. But the Flapmax team came in and guided us to select the 2 priority use cases, where we went for mapping powered by AI, and also went for ticket counterfeit check powered by AI. We will be diving deeper with the Microsoft attached intern to make sure that we can implement these things and improve our products for our end users.
That's really great. I mean, we are glad to know that this much has changed. What are your key takeaways from the program and advice to funders, and maybe advice to FAST and Microsoft? So let's take it this way. What are your key takeaways from the program?
Personally, I noticed being attached to big partners means a lot in terms of brand awareness, brand growth. It really means a lot. We didn't have such a big traction ever since until when we got this partnership. We've had attachment to previous accelerator programs. We've gained some traction because of attachment to former programs like Smart Cities Innovation Support Program, GIZ, Amazon. But then when Microsoft came in, it became a boost. Yeah, when you see our activity, online activity, when you see our user site visits, you can see that immediately we had that press release. We really had a jump of people trying to know us, following us, and it has been interesting. That's on me and my company's growth. But my recommendations on this would be, if you're an entrepreneur and you really have a chance to have a partner, have the time, make sure you involve your team so that your team knows what's going on. And if the team is adventurous, they will actually find out what more they can even gain from that program. Yeah, we've been keen that all our people who have been involved in the program would write reports and would propose ideas that could also be shared between fellow entrepreneurs, and we come and iterate, see what's working, what's not working. We optimize a few things within our company based on what they learned, and yeah.
Do you have any word of advice for the FAST and Flapmax team?
As I said from the beginning, I recommend you guys for the work done, well done, coordination, perfectly executed, even amidst the challenges of time zone and different culture and different types of businesses that we operate. The content selection was great. cut across, everyone would definitely find it useful. Yeah, for the FAST Accelerator, and I mean the program organizer and Flapmax in general, I would say your employees really rock. They were there for us, and they're always there.
Would you have anything to say to Microsoft too? Do you think what Microsoft is doing is a game changer in Africa? What would you like to say to Microsoft?
Very disruptive. It's a big game. We all know Africa, really. We should be the next big thing. And companies like Microsoft coming in, giving the support up to this level, it is something we that is underrated. Yeah. They notice that here in Uganda, in Kampala, there is a transport tech startup that needs such help. Yeah, that is like a miracle, because we are not there. They were not here when we were starting our companies. They didn't know our problems, but now they are thinking, and they are putting us into their big picture. We appreciate so much. We appreciate Microsoft for aligning all these resources, putting in extra support in terms of technical engagement with us, and we look forward now to engaging with Microsoft local partners to see how we can fit in, even be closer within the ecosystem and contribute to mutual growth, have win-win relationships, and of course, develop more strategic partnerships for years to come.
So how long has the KaCyber brand been in existence? How long ago did you establish KaCyber?
We incorporated our business in 2014. In 2016. In 2014, I was having the ideas, prototyping, just ideas. But formally in 2016, we launched our company. We registered everything. We started working on a product. By 2019, Jan, we had version 1, and we were lucky to go into the market and got initial customers who wanted to test it. We started testing and got our first contract in March 2019. So we've been around. Unfortunately, at our height in the end of 2019, where we were trying to spread the gospel and people were very interested, COVID came in and disrupted public transport systems. Yeah, so our customers were not in business anymore for some good time, especially because of the suspension and the lockdowns, all that. But lucky enough, everything is close to back. We have our customers back in operations, and we are going back to them, reproposing. And again, COVID highlighted that we have to go electronic a bit. We have to digitize. We have to go cashless. So now they are even seeing extra benefits in using systems like KaCyber. And we think if the conditions in the market keep this very promising, we'll make it there.
Would you be able to tell us your core services and products? Just a brief of your services and products.
Yes. So our primary product is an electronic ticketing system that is used for payment for public transport. It works for buses, trains, and ferries. But on aside, our company has been around and attained licenses for providing extra ICT services, including software development and ICT consultancy in general. Yeah, we've also been open to partnerships. Our brand has been trusted to an extent that now we are looking into business process outsourcing. We are lucky that just 4 months ago, an American firm called Vignetic patterned us to deliver services for them. And these are recruiting services. We provide technical headhunting services to American clients. At the moment, we've also tested logistics for SMEs. We provide small, medium companies with logistics support. We can pick your package and take it through our transport partners to where you want it to be, as long as it is within Uganda. We will be looking into these business models much deeper to make sure that we take on the ones that are going to scale our business faster and create bigger impact.
Is there any major breakthrough deals that's occurred to you, has happened to you since you launched or since you established KaCyber that you would like us to know? Any major announcements that has been a game changer for you in KaCyber? I mean,
Yeah,
we would like to know your growth in this area.
Yes. So to date, since 2019, when we started using our system on partners' fleet, we've processed more than 10 million tickets. By value, these are equal to transaction value of 54 million USD. To us, we are charging 0.5%. As a company, we've gained back 100,000 USD. To us, this is good traction to keep us very motivated and keep us investing in more. We think with this kind of proof, especially even when COVID was here, where we could not, have more passengers traveling. With this kind of proof, it shows that the e-ticketing system we provide has a future. Yeah, that's one of the key milestones. Then on the other side, we've been lucky to have international partners who have boosted our technological setup, technical assistance, and processes. Yeah, that is including Microsoft and Bignetic. Yeah, to date, we have grown our staff over a period of 6 months. We've grown our staff from 8 to 23. Yeah, it's actually a scary growth, but we are learning how to manage it, and we feel excited about what is coming with everything, with the new stuff, the big numbers, and this kind of growth.
Thank you for sharing that with us, and we are very motivated and excited to hear your journey. You've also displayed a lot of dynamism in your approach. That is the way we should run. That is the way to win. That is the way to become a unicorn. Yeah, I mean, thank you. With everything happening all over Africa, all over the world, the rate of inflation and all that, that's fantastic growth we've recorded. I mean, that means you're doing more and more to come.
Yes.
Okay, so going forward, how will you rate the startup space in your country, in Africa, and what challenges do you think are, peculiar or notable that you would like to tell us about?
Yeah, the landscape of startup ecosystem here is it's growing. The challenge, the biggest one, is tech adoption. We need a lot of efforts to teach our end users how to use our tech solutions. And we need a lot of efforts to simplify these solutions for the end users who are not very educated. Yeah, of course, we also have to deal with the issues of raw connectivity, poor connectivity. Trust me, KaCyber is one of the companies that are already looking out for Elon Musk and SpaceX to see how we can improve connectivity, because we faced the challenge ourselves to the extent that we had to build an offline version of our solution, so that if the buses go up country where the network is poor, our system keeps working. So I point out those two challenges, the level of tech adoption being very low and the connectivity being poor in some areas or not being stable. We think our governments have a good digital agenda, but sometimes startups, we need to grow faster. We can't wait for the agenda to be implemented because it's normally long-term, and if you rely on long-term plans of the government, you may fall short of your deliverables.
So how are you leveraging your, motivation, mentor networks, professional networks to address some of these challenges you've identified?
Yes, we are part of the association for ICT Association of Uganda. Our association's mandate is to also contribute to the policy planning and all that, to gather more information and feed a few data sets to our decision makers. So we're always very active in the BPO Association. The BPO Association is one of those very unique entities in Uganda which contribute to the policy planning and scoping out the BPO opportunities for Uganda as a country. So KaCyber being a member of those two key associations, we feel our contribution is very direct. Yeah, very direct because we engage in the meetings. We use our use case, show them what is working and what could probably work better, and share where we failed. Yeah, so this kind of sharing from real practical experience really guides the decision makers in a proper way, I can say.
I've had a great time with you, and I'm quite motivated, and I'm sure the audience too will be motivated by your story, by your passion, and by solving problems all over Africa, starting with Uganda. And we see KaCyber going places. The journey has started, and we can only wish, pray for more.
Definitely.
So where do you see KaCyber in 3-5 years? Of course, we want to see you making billions, launching on, IPO, having the greatest house of Africa. Maybe if you want, buying a lot of Porsche and Ferrari, But I think most importantly, adding value to people. So where do you see KaCyber in 3 years?
So first of all, let me clarify. I'm a minimalist. My life is simple. I don't even think I've ever dreamed of the Ferrari. I have my favorite cars, but different. They are not in that class. Yeah, but we think in 3 to 5 years, we should be a profit-making company that integrates equity to everyone who has supported us, including our shareholders, partners, and end users of our product. We should be able to provide a product that is very cost effective, that they don't feel the cost at all, but works and is always available. We should be able in 3 to 5 years to cross the border, cross East Africa, be in countries like Senegal, be there deeper, Mali, providing our services. So I think that would not just happen without partners. So we are focusing on onboarding strategic partners who will take lead and guide us in scaling to that level.